So we saw Dune 2, which it was a beautiful film, right?
Yes, it was. I don't even know how the hell he got those shots.
But it cost the same as any other Marvel film. What is Marvel doing with this money, y'all? What are they doing? Why does it look so much better than literally anything Marvel has put out in probably 15 years?
You have an experienced director like Denis Villeneuve. Who says, I'm going to make this movie in my vision.
Exactly.
And you're going to like, not only am I going to make this movie in my vision, I'm going to get it to as close to Frank Herbert's novel as possible as I can.
Yeah, Dune has a vision. Like, the guy clearly had an idea of what he wanted the film to look like before they started shooting. We were just talking about, off camera, Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. And how it's so clear it was just like, we'll put in the effects later. We'll clean it up later. We'll make that look better later. And you see what you get. Godzilla -1, which costs even less than Dune. I think for American money, I think it cost like $60 million. It did not cost that much.
And it won
an Oscar. Okay. It looks incredible. Can you tell a story? Can someone along the line be interested in like the story? It reinforces the idea that like some basic filmmaking stuff has gone out the window for a lot of these big films. They're not interested in telling a story. They're not interested in making a film. They are just literally digging in your pockets. Like, give me the money. Just give me the money now.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Yeah, that's it. And it's so obvious.
Did you hear what Zack Snyder said last week?
I did. The most Zack Snydery thing in the most Zack Snydery way.
Bro, this man went on Joe Rogan podcast. By the way, like Joe Rogan asked him a simple question about Batman, and this man was like everywhere around the subject. And I was like, dude, just answer the question. Why do you think what's going on with your Batman in your films? And he's like, I think he should be able to kill. I'm like, what?
You're right. First of all, Zack Snyder's on Joe Rogan. Like, do you need to hear anything more? Like, this is the most Zack Snydery thing in the most Zack Snydery place. After watching that interview, I used to say I thought he was really talented and and he just needs some help. But you know what? I think he might be a hack. I think he is a fake. And for some reason, he has tricked everybody, even me, into thinking that maybe he might be good, but he just needs a little help. Yo, he was saying some wild shit. And he said some wild shit about Star Wars too. He was like, oh yeah, there was like a sexual undertone to the cantina scene. And it's like, there was?
Was?
When Luke Skywalker walks into the cantina and like is confronted by Walrus Man, like, is that sexual? Like, is he like, he's fucking with Luke. Luke's like some farm boy in this rough bar. Like, what's gonna happen to Luke?
Like, yeah, you didn't know those roughnecks were gonna rape Luke Skywalker. I'm like, what in the? I'm like, is he okay?
So you'd get a normal comic and be like, when are they gonna start fucking? Because it's
like, that is such a weird thing to say, dude.
I'm looking at like, what film did I actually really did enjoy?
I was thinking that too.
And I'm looking in my mind, I'm like, Dawn of the Dead. Okay, that was cool. But then I was like, James Gunn wrote that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's why I like that.
He still directed it.
Yeah, he still directed it. Oh, and then so what else did I really like about Zack Snyder? 300. Okay. But I was like, but was it really his directing or was it really Gerard Butler?
I would say rewatch 300. It's not the movie you think it is. Your memory is wrong. Rewatch that shit.
Didn't we go to the movies and see that together?
Yeah, we did. It is so shockingly racist. Like, it is like, holy crap. And not only that, it's incorrect to history, although it's not supposed to be. It's not. It's an artistic film, so it doesn't have to be perfect with history. But they bent it in the most racist way. Like, go back and watch that shit. I think Zack Snyder has one good film, and that is Dawn of the Dead. After that, he's got nothing. And I think the artistic merits, which are there, I think they tricked people into thinking he was better than he is. But he hasn't evolved. His style hasn't changed.
No.
He just does slow motion stuff, and homoerotic stuff, and he's never changed. It's always stayed that way. But to his credit, to his point, Batman did literally start off like with a gun. Right. So like, I feel like Batman killing people is not necessarily like completely off the table, but you've got to, I feel like, at least in the comics, when he does, it's like, this is a one-off, right? This is not really the character anymore. This is like a one-off type thing. So I feel like there is potentially a version of a killer Batman. But at that point, it's not the Batman that I think most people would recognize. He made not only, in my opinion, the worst Batman, but the movie didn't make any money. So what is he talking about with it being relevant, with its relevancy? Like, people didn't like it. No one showed up, even though they put him in multiple films. People didn't show up. So I'm not really sure what he's talking about.
To his point, it only makes sense and it only makes money when people see the director's cut. And I think that is some of the most cheapest, dumbest ways to be a filmmaker.
There is no director's cut. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I think he's a hack. That's he says that all the time for all his films. Well, wait till you see the director's cut. Well, release that. Why are you releasing the shit one?
He said the reason why we cut these things off is because the studio is saying it didn't pass well with this type of demographic of people, so we have to cut stuff like that.
And I'm sure he's true. I'm sure that's true. There's some truth to that. We learned with his director's cut for Batman vs Superman that like the studio was right. like they weren't cutting it because it was too edgy. They cut it because that shit was boring. Like, it was dull. And for some reason, he cannot see it. But you know what? Again, like, kudos to Zack Snyder for doing something, right? He tried something, and he failed at it multiple times. So I don't know why he thinks he's like the authority on it, but anyway, I think Zack Snyder is so confused.
Just like you said, I don't think he really cares or doesn't know about these people. Like, Superman is supposed to be happy-go-lucky, freaking Boy Scout. And Batman, he has a code. Batman has a code.
I'm okay with them changing things. Like, I don't know. I feel like you can change the code. I'm actually kind of bizarrely on his side for that one. I feel like you can change it, but it's how he's changing it and how he's so insistent to change it in just this one way. Again, tells me that he doesn't like and or understand the characters.